Different date, same fate. I'm gonna knock out Jake Paul.
Word on the street is that Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet, just flipped the script on Jake Paul, who apparently tried to back out of their fight with a weak excuse about health concerns. But instead of letting it slide, Tyson supposedly hit Jake with a set of brutal new rules designed to break bones, especially Jake's. Now everybody's wondering, can Jake really survive the wrath of Iron Mike, or is he about to become Tyson's next victim? The upcoming fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul was shaping up to be a real clash of worlds. Legendary boxing greatness versus, the YouTube kid. Tyson was ready to remind everybody why he's a living icon, while Jake is about to find out what it really means to step into the ring with the baddest man on the planet. But like we all suspected, Jake ain't a real fighter, and his recent action is just proving that.
Obviously, devastating news. I'm heartbroken, speechless, gutted. We've been working so hard over here, everyone in this camp, and I just feel bad for everyone involved in this event.
Rumor has it that Jake Paul recently pulled the plug on his much-hyped fight with Mike Tyson. And the reason? Supposedly, Jake claimed that it was all out of concern for Tyson's health, as if he suddenly became an expert on whether Tyson at 58 could still go toe-to-toe in the ring. Now, did this dude really think that anybody was gonna buy that? The boxing world certainly didn't. Fans was left confused, sponsors were livid, and promoters were straight up furious.
If Tyson's taking a dive, if Tyson hits him, it's over.
You don't just try to cancel a fight with a legend like Mike Tyson and expect to walk away without backlash. Everybody was ready for the showdown of the year. Iron Mike, still training like a beast, versus Jake, the YouTuber turned boxer who thrives on the spotlight. But instead, Jake felt that everybody needed to be left hanging with what feels like a flimsy excuse.
Yeah, the news is true, folks. I, Jake Paul, will be fighting Mike Perry, Tampa, Florida, July 20th.
Now, word is Mike Tyson wasn't about to sit quietly after Jake Paul pulled that stunt. When Jake canceled the fight, Tyson saw it as nothing but pure disrespect. Now, we are talking about Iron Mike here, a man regarded as the toughest and most committed of boxers. And Jake's excuse that he was concerned for Tyson's health reads like a slap in the face rather than a genuine concern. And Tyson, well, he wasn't having it. So what's he do? He hit Jake where it hurts most, a $350 million lawsuit. Wondering why it's such a big number? Well, this is no ordinary fight. It was a huge business, with the giants of Monster Energy and advertising moguls dumping millions into promotions. When Jake pulled out, it wasn't just the fight that went into the can, but also TV spots, billboards, and major advertising campaigns. Millions were at stake. And who do y'all think is to blame? Jake Paul. The fine to Tyson issue was not just some arbitrary figure. It was payback for the kind of financial chaos Jake incited. So while Jake may have thought that he could simply walk out, he ended up getting slammed with a fine way bigger than his own ego. And honestly, rumor has it, he deserves every penny of it. Rumor has it that Mike Tyson played the ultimate game of checkmate against Jake Paul on July 10, 2024. Even after Jake tried to weasel his way out of the fight, Tyson wasn't having it and took things forward on his terms. And let me tell you, them terms weren't so new after all. They were made to make Jake realize just how terrible an idea canceling was. According to street gossip, Tyson pushed the rope and lengthened the fight from his standard 8 rounds to an arduous 15 rounds. For those who's already a fan of Jake, they know his style, in and out with the shortest time. Not so for Tyson though. An endurance machine that was a marathon rather than a sprint, let's dare him to last it out. Then Tyson allegedly reduced the recovery time between rounds of inactivity to a mere 30 seconds. Now Jake ain't gonna have time to draw much oxygen into his lungs before being shipped back out again to face Iron Mike. And let's face it, man, Jake's not built for the jog and wear him down warfare nonsense. Tyson's setting him up to be worn down, and we all know how that's likely to end. And it didn't stop there. Rumor has it Tyson made the gloves lighter too, switching to 8-ounce gloves, which means harder punches and more pain for Jake. This wasn't just a small tweak, it's a game changer. Tyson basically telling Jake, you wanted to back out? Well, now you're really gonna feel it. But Tyson wasn't done with Jake yet. Nah, man. Apparently, he even threw in a knockout-only rule, meaning no judges, no technical decisions, and no way for Jake to win on points. Yeah, the fight only ends when one of them is laid out flat on the canvas. And let's be real, y'all, Tyson lives for knockouts. This ain't some TikTok dance-off for Jake. This is pure survival, where only raw power and the ability to deliver that final crushing blow is gonna matter. It's almost like Tyson designed his rules specifically to remind Jake that boxing ain't just a game, that it's life or death in the ring. And if that wasn't enough, word is that Tyson added an Iron Man round. Now, one brutal 3-minute round with 0 breaks, just non-stop action. No running, no hiding, and absolutely no chance to catch your breath. For Jake, who's more used to showy entrances and quick fights, now this might be his biggest nightmare. Tyson's at his best when he's pushing opponents that are absolute limit. And honestly, everybody's wondering if Jake is way out of his league on this one. Apparently, Jake Paul quickly found himself backed into a corner. After trying to weasel his way out of the fight by canceling on Tyson, he soon realized there was no easy escape. With a $350 million lawsuit staring him in the face and Tyson's refusal to let him off the hook, Jake ain't got no choice but to come crawling back. The legal trouble alone was enough to make him rethink his decision. So rather than risk a financial disaster, he reluctantly agreed to Tyson's new brutal terms. Just imagine the humiliation going from trying to back out to now having to step into the ring under the harshest conditions possible.
I wanted to shoot around because I wanted more action. We only have 2 minutes, we'll fight more.
As soon as Tyson's so-called brutal new rules was announced, the entire boxing community and fans couldn't stop buzzing. Whispers started spreading like wildfire. And let's just say, hardly anybody felt sorry for Jake Paul. In fact, the mood was the complete opposite. People was hyped, really hyped. After all, how often do you get to see a YouTuber turned boxer get thrown into the ring with one of the toughest, most legendary fighters of all time, under what are some calling the most ruthless conditions imaginable? Speculation grew that fans weren't just excited, they was practically salivating at the thought of Jake, with all this social media swagger trying to survive against Iron Mike. The conversations in gyms, on social media, and in the sports bars was all the same. Could Jake Paul handle it, or was he about to get completely destroyed? Now, a lot of people believe that Tyson's rule changes were specifically designed to ensure that Jake doesn't just lose, but loses in the most humiliating fashion possible. And then there's all the promoters, who rumor has it saw nothing but dollar signs. With all the added drama and these new vicious conditions, the fight quickly became more than just a matchup. It became a full-blown spectacle. Anticipation started soaring through the roof, and suddenly everybody, from die-hard boxing fans to casual viewers, wanted a front-row seat to what could easily become the ultimate David versus Goliath moment. Except in this case, David's got a big mouth and probably ain't got no slingshot. Speculation keeps swirling. Can Jake Paul, with his flashy entrances and social media fame, really survive the storm that Mike Tyson is bringing to the ring? Or is he destined to be another victim in Iron Mike's long list of knockouts? Now the world is waiting, and the buzz only keeps getting louder. Is this fight gonna end in Jake Paul's ultimate humiliation, or is he somehow gonna shock everybody and hold his own? Well, right now, most are betting on Tyson sending Jake to the canvas, maybe even the hospital. And let's be real, that's exactly what people are gonna be paying to see go down in this entire fight. So what's your all's thoughts on this? Make sure you let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next episode.